production, because that is where you go. So by the fact that you are being told reduce your chief officers to 18 chief officers, there was a reason to that effect. So my question is, why didn't you measure some of these departments to ensure efficiency? Because you could have done livestock production, fisheries, and blue economy or something like that, climate change. I've seen, Chair, some of chief officers even are doing functions that belong to the national government. So I don't think it is efficient, Governor. So on those three questions, and finally, Governor, chief officers under the county governments act are the accounting officers. Who is doing the approvals and requisitions to control our budget? Because you say by March they are gone. So who will we hail as accounting officers as per the law? Thank you, Chair.
Governor.
Thank you, Chair. It is true the term of the previous chief of service expired in March, and we renewed 5 of them. Five of them are the ones who are holding those positions and acting for the officers which the other chief officers have not been reappointed or recruited. I want to confirm here, we are in the process of either reappointing the earlier one or recruiting new one. Chair, I can reduce my chief officers to 10. What I wanted to come out clear here, the County Government Act does not constrain me to 18 chief officers, as what the Senator of Isiolo was saying. The Act is very clear, and it is the law, and I was following the law.
No, I'm on record. I have never said anywhere here. Can you withdraw that? Because I didn't say that. That is the record of the auditors.
When you
Order.
the word liar,
Governor.
I will
you lied
withdraw.
to the committee.
You are the liar. You are
Governor.
a pathological liar.
Governor.
Yeah.
Governor, you are getting out of order. You are getting out of order. I don't think you came to Nairobi for a shouting match. And we have been extremely patient. The chair has been extremely patient to allow us to have a conversation that can help the people of Isiolo. Let us not reduce it to a personal exchange. Whereas you say the law does not specify the number of chief officers, why is it that Isiolo has just 9 CCs while other counties have 10? Because it's specified in law, isn't it?
In the Constitution.
And
to have
it is
a third of the members of the county assembly.
correct.
And we have obliged
just let me guide you. Because the same principle that has capped the number of CCs in proportion to the size of your assembly is the same principle that would apply even when it comes to chief officers. There is a principle, and even if it is not stated in black and white that you should have 10 chief officers, you know, one day you'll wake up and you'll have 100 chief officers. Is that effective utilization of public resources? It is our job that even if you did things in accordance with a gap in law, but we must ask whether it is effective. It sounds wrong for a county like Isiolo with 10 MCAs and 9 CECs to have 36 advisors and 31 chief officers. That is not effective use of public resources. And you see, you have not provided any evidence to confirm that you have complied with your own laws in Isiolo. You have not presented to us the staff establishment. You have not presented to us the schedule of the 32, whom you are saying are not advisors. So we cannot arrive at any other conclusion. In fact, it now gets me to the point of asking whether we should proceed if these 2 issues have been responded to in this manner. There could be one or two other issues, perhaps relating to projects, that we might want to have a preliminary conversation on, so that when you now do your substantive response, you are guided on how to deal with the matters. But on the first 2 issues that we have tested, you have not responded in any manner that is satisfactory to this committee. The appendices are not there. The evidence of the law is not there. And that is why now I cannot avoid taking the documents tabled by Senator Dulo because you have not presented your own evidence. So, members, I'm informed by the clerk that the payment has been received.
Yes, Chairman. The office of the clerk has received the banker's check. They are in the process of doing an acknowledgement letter to the county.
Okay, fine. So that can allow us to proceed with some.
Actually, it is to the governor because that money has been paid by the governor, not the county.
Yeah.
Chair, before you close the two issues of advisors and chief officers,
Senator Chiraga.
Maybe, in the words of Senator Wambua, that this is preliminary, it is important that you give a ruling of the committee that what should follow, because so that we don't leave it open-ended. Because if we need further evidence of the advisors that have been appointed, and my opinion, Chair, is that they must be verified by the Office of the Auditor General, so that when the governor will give evidence of the 4 advisors, let it go to the OAG, be authenticated by the OAG, and the 5. And Governor, how can 5 chief officers act on behalf of 31? Don't you think it's too much? And do they do all the requisitions in terms of the spending by those departments? Is it efficient? And how long will you take to appoint the new chief officers?
It is not efficient.
You know, just a minute. Yeah. You know, your question would imply that 31 is the ideal number that they should have.
No,
it is clearly excessive.
Yeah, no, Chair. I was just doing the math here.
Yes.
I'm right, Governor. On these people, salary comes to about plus allowances 255,000 a month. Entitled to a medical cover and retirement benefits. If you do 255,000 times 31 people, the county of Isiolo is spending upwards of 8 million shillings, if my math is correct, every month on chief officers, Governor. How does that sit as something that is right in a county such as yours? And we've visited. We know the problems that are in Isiolo. That is money that could have been put to the people.
Chair, quickly.
You are standing by your that you need the people of Isiolo need these people.
Chair, on the part of wage bill, I'll agree with Senator Sifuna. It is not effective and it is not efficient. We can reduce it, but in terms of law, we have complied with the law.
No. You have not provided the evidence. You have not provided your staff establishment.
Yeah.
Which law?
County Government Act.
No.
Section 45.
Chair,
No, Governor, you are not.
Have the county attorney.
There is something, Chair, I thought maybe we should.
Senator Gataya?
No, Chair, we have not concluded on the issue of the advisors because we have 3 schools of thoughts. We have the auditor's report which has not been verified. He has not produced any evidence to that effect that he has seen letters of appointment. We have the report from the governor who says there are 4. We don't have. So I think this matter, Chair, should maybe planned for another day. It's something that we should maybe. We have nothing before.
You are totally right, Senator. You are totally right. Yeah. You know, we are engaging a lot of speculative conversation, but it's also helping us to understand the situation in this county. Because when the Auditor General talked of a staff establishment of 18, and Auditor General, I don't know whether you've got a copy of that staff establishment. It sounds reasonable when you consider that Isiolo is restricted to 9 CCs. Is it? 6. Actually 6 CCs, plus the deputy governor and the governor. So you are 8 members of the county executive committee. When you had 18, that sounded like 2 accounting officers under a CC. Now, when you are at 31, you have a disaster where every CC has got 5 accounting officers. That's madness. That does not fit anywhere in any school of leadership or management. It can't be. And if it is not in law, we shall put it in law. But whether it is in law or not, it is not effective. It is wasteful. So Senator Gataya, we are not concluding these matters. We are not clearing them.
You know,
I think that's a preliminary conversation to give guidance to the governor.
Chair, there is a... there is a...
Sorry.
Chair, there is something that has now got me worried, Governor. If indeed, when the Auditor General raised the question of the staff establishment, he went and changed the staff establishment. I am very worried about the answer you gave on these advisors. Because if that was a trend, it is very possible that the documentation of the redesignation of these people also happened. If it did, it is best that it comes from you, that at no point these people were ever employed as advisors. Because if it turns out that there was a redesignation, just the way you dealt with the question of staff establishment, then we're going to have a problem.
Chair, when I was in Nairobi, we had 21 chief officers.
Oh,
because the staff established by then was 18. When the new administration came in, they changed the staff establishment to 36. Now we have 36 chief officers. And there was no law which was...
You cannot compare Nairobi with...
What I'm saying, we did not change the staff establishment after the audit.
Governor, just understand the question that I have asked you.
I've understood you very clearly.
It's okay, you can change the staff establishment. Yeah. That is not in dispute.
And it is not illegal.
No, we are not disputing that. I am saying, is it possible? Is it possible? It's a yes or no? Is it possible that you dealt with the question of advisors the same way you dealt with the question of...
No, Chair.
Okay.
Chair.
Senator Lelego?
Chair, I'm just saying, why are we treating Isiolo County as a special county? In this committee before, when a county does not table evidence or responses, then the meeting ends there. And we are proceeding with our meeting when we don't have any of the responses by the county government. So I think, Chair, we should adjourn this meeting because there's nothing we are doing.
That is the third senator of the view. Senator Wambua talked of a preliminary conversation. And I think that is what we'll call this, because it must go out to the public and on record that the Senate is of the view that this is wasteful expenditure, but we will still have to provide the evidence to confirm that it didn't break the law. But this is not effective. Now, I wanted to, members, I just wanted us to look at one other issue and see, yes, I'll give you a chance, and see whether it would be possible to follow through the records or the evidence presented by the governor to support that matter. If we find that the next issue is still unsupported and the governor is just repeating what the Auditor General has said, then we will direct that instead of responding to 18 issues, you must respond to all the 35 original issues in the next 14 days.
Chair, let me say on record and actually follow through what Senator Sifuna has said. And I'm saying it on record for Isiolo people, that those 36 advisors, their positions have been redesignated. They have changed the staff establishment, and that has been done after the auditors had come up with a query, and after they also appeared before the committee of Senator Chute. Thank you.
Now, I'm looking at the clerk's letter on the payment of the fine. I think, clerk, you must redo this because this letter cannot be addressed to the county secretary. The governor was fined in his personal capacity. Yeah, so this letter says, we acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 19th of May on the above subject matter and a banker's check in favor of Senate from Cooperative Bank of Kenya. So we'll need to confirm that that check number 80474 did not come from the county government of Isiolo. Governor, was that check from the county government or it was a personal check?
It was a personal check.
So clerks, I think for neatness, I don't think we should be addressing the county secretary because it would look like the money came from the county. You can rectify that. Can we look at the spatial plan?
No, before spatial plan, there was issue of 2 deputy county secretaries. And Chair, finally, you were directed at the office of the Auditor General. If in their management they have attached appendixes of the names of these officers, is it now good that they table and also the governor to clear the air on the 2 deputy county secretaries? Is it true or not, so that you make a ruling on the entire matter?
Governor, you have 2 deputy county secretaries.
Yeah.
Is it in line with your staff establishment?
Yeah.
And can we have a copy of the staff establishment?
I'll bring it.
Because without that, then we'll be engaged in speculative talk. I think
also,
Senator Maru,
for the auditor, you need also to give us all the names and the remuneration of the advisors. Because then if the management is saying they have 4 advisors and we are saying they are 36, then we also need to know how much they are earning. They must have been earning the same salary, all of them, so that then you can, and if you have letters of appointment that made you conclude that they're advisors, please give them to us so that we can make conclusions.
Okay. Clerks, we must write to SRC. We need to have a conversation with them on this matter of chief officers. They have given out a circular on advisors. We must cost them to do another circular on chief officers. A county with 6 CCs and 31 chief officers is unreasonable.
Chairman, we have taken note of the request of the committee and we'll give that information in the earliest opportunity, hopefully by tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. Could we just look at this one on spatial plan? I see there was a response by the county, and establish whether we have sufficient evidence to deal with the matter. If we don't, then we might be forced to adjourn. Irregularities in the award of contract for the development of Isiolo County Spatial Plan. It involves about 98 million Kenya shillings.
Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, read your finding.
Yeah, I'm reading the query on irregularities in the award of contract for the development of Isiolo County Spatial Plan. It goes this way. Note A to the financial statements reflect Kenya shillings 702,259,516 in respect to the acquisition of assets. Included in this was Kenya shillings 24,119,480, which was spent on research studies, project preparation, design and supervision, which further included Kenya shillings 19,694,480, which was made to a company for Isiolo County Spatial, Physical and Land Use Development Plan 2023 to 2033, whose contracted sum was Kenya shillings 98,472,400. However, the following anomalies were noted. The first one, the county executive awarded the tender to a company at a contract sum of Kenya shillings 98,472,400 instead of the lowest bidder who had quoted Kenya shillings 62,173,448. This was contrary to Section 86(1) of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015, which states that the successful tenderer shall be the one who meets any one of the criteria specified in the tender document. Secondly, the lowest bidder was disqualified during the financial evaluation on the grounds that their quotation was abnormally low